for the interruption. Before we start, the beginning of my speech, it wasn't being recorded at that time. So I'm just going to be saying the beginning of it and then the rest of the video will continue. Sounds good? Now, on a warm, sunny day, two bees were flying, foraging for flowers. As they were flying, the younger bee looks at the elder bee, working hard to collect nectar and pollinate the flowers that they visited. The younger bee then asks,
"Why do we do it?"
The elder bee responds, "That's pollen power, kid. More pollen, more flowers, more nectar, more honey for us." Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Good afternoon, honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow 4-H members. For over 130 million years, bees have been the most important insect in the history of our world. 90% of the world's nutrition is pollinated by bees. Honeybees alone pollinate 70% of the world's foods. Each bee can visit about 5,000 flowers in a single day and produce 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in her lifetime. You would need about 556 honeybees to make only 1 pound of honey. Did you know that in 2020, it is estimated that the world had approximately 94 million beehives produce 1.87 million metric tons of honey. And just in the U.S. alone, the honey market reached an astonishing $8 billion in value. Now, you can see why honey is also referred to as liquid gold. The production of honey is a process that takes a whole beekeeping season, and it all starts inside the hive. During winter, unlike other insects, honeybees, they don't hibernate. Instead, they stay awake all winter inside the hive. When spring arrives in the area where I live, the first flowers don't appear till late April, beginning of May. During this time, honeybees send scouts to look for food. The first pollen source is the pussy willow, and the nectar source is the dandelion that the bees get. These two plants are super important as they're the first food for the upcoming generation of the honeybee. When summer arrives, an average hive can contain about 80,000 bees. Each bee has their own special role. However, the bravest and oldest bees are the ones that collect nectar and pollen. Bees fly up to 3 kilometers in distance to look for flowers. Once they find flowers, the scout bees fly back to the hive, and by dancing, they let their sisters know that they have found a good food source. Together, honeybees collect nectar every day and turn it into honey. But how do they do it? What is their secret into making this delicious liquid gold? Well, when a bee comes back from foraging, she has something what is called a crop or a honey sac where she stores in nectar. Inside the hive, nectar is passed on from one bee to another until the moisture of the nectar is reduced to about 20%. The last bee to receive the nectar then stores it in small hexagonal cells made of beeswax. Using wing power, the bees regulate the temperature of the nectar, and when it is ready, the bees seal the cell, indicating that the nectar is now honey. That is where beekeepers like myself come in. Our harvesting season is around August and September, depending on the weather. On a good year, a single hive can produce 60 to 80 pounds of honey. My job is to collect the honey frames that have been sealed with the beeswax lid because that tells me that the honey is ready. When my family and I are harvesting, we make sure that we leave enough honey for the bees so they have large reserves for the upcoming winter, as it is their main food source for the next 5 to 6 months. Honey is currently #1 in the most used natural sweeteners in the world. Some historical evidence estimates that humans have been using honey for well over 8,000 years, not just to sweeten your daily cup of tea or coffee, but also in beauty and health. So, what are the benefits of honey? Well, first off, pure raw honey contains bee pollen, propolis, and lots of antibacterial properties. That is why it is used in many beauty products like face masks for exfoliation and antioxidants. It is also used to help out with severe allergies like pollen itself, as raw honey contains small amounts of it. In Egypt, honey was used to treat skin problems and eye diseases. It was such a valued product that the pharaohs themselves were buried with honey containers for the afterlife. And fun fact, when archaeologists found the tombs and honey containers, the honey was still good to eat, thanks to what is called crystallization. When I'm at farmers markets, people ask me why our honey crystallizes or why do we put the word unpasteurized on our labels. People think that when honey crystallizes, it's a bad sign. It isn't pure, but actually, it's the complete opposite. When honey crystallizes, it is the main indicator that the honey is pure and raw. Crystallization is how honey can preserve itself for thousands of years. Raw honey is also called unpasteurized honey. Pasteurization is a process where some beekeepers and manufacturers use it to prevent the honey from crystallizing. It is a process where the honey is heated to extreme high temperatures and then dramatically lowered over and over again until the honey becomes pasteurized. This process actually kills the good properties of the honey. It takes away the taste and it makes it look more transparent. All of this simply to prevent the honey from its natural preservation. Honey is one of the foods that will never go bad, and like I mentioned earlier, pure raw honey has so many benefits. I believe in natural, so when customers ask me why our honey is raw or unpasteurized, I simply tell them all of the things which I have shared with you today. I invite you to buy local, not from the store, because I can guarantee